wakes up and automatically has 30 points, right? They have one of the best defenses, the actual best defense. They have multiple all-star caliber players, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren. I would like to say, like, OKC is still the favorite here.
They are the betting favorite. But I was going to bring this up to you briefly earlier when we talked about it. Just give me 1 second, Cindy, before we get to the next one. We've been talking about the West like it's the OKC Invitational for months. It doesn't feel that way anymore as we head into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it has shifted, especially with, why are you smiling? You're smiling. I think it has shifted.
See, I won her over. I got her on our side.
It has shifted because a lot of teams are playing better brands of basketball right now. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and the Lakers, even Ant Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're to be feared. You still have Jokic, that is one of the best players that can stuff up stat sheets. So a number of players can impact OKC.
The West is going to be nuts.
And they're young. OKC's young.
Yeah.
But they're still the favorites.
Let me get to the next one here. You ready? You're going to like this one.
Okay.
If someone were to say, if the Bucks lose in their first round series to Indiana, that's going to be the end of Giannis in Milwaukee. He's going to want out. Do you believe it or not?
I definitely believe it, Greeny. I think it's time to start exploring other options. If he does not win, if he goes out in the first round, listen, he's gave Milwaukee their championship. This is a good player. He needs to get to a bigger market. I think he's done.
I want to disagree with you, but 2 years ago, a year ago, I was concerned about Giannis because all he wants to do is win championships. But you have to give credit to the Milwaukee Bucks or the team, but it has not worked out that way because we've seen the rise of the Celtics, the rise of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I would not be surprised, but I do think that Giannis is more loyal than people think.
Okay, we're going to watch that one play out. Shanae, this one is for you, and I'm particularly proud of this question after what we discussed yesterday. If I were to say LeBron James has to be the best player in the series if the Lakers are going to advance through Minnesota, believe it or not?
Not. No. I'm going to say no. He doesn't have to. That's the reason why you got Luka Doncic, because Luka can take a lot of that load. LeBron is 40 years young. He's 40 years young. And if you think about what Luka brings, he brings that ball handling. He brings that natural scoring. You've got Austin Reeves. LeBron is happy. He's a happy camper.
Right. I think he just needs to be the smartest player, right? Like, he's going to be used in so many different situations. You alluded to the pick and roll yesterday with getting in the pocket and getting guys shots. I don't think he has to be the best player. I think he needs to be the smartest player. Obviously, he's the oldest player, right? And that veteran leadership will spray around the whole team.
I just have a feeling. It's hard to explain. I have a feeling LeBron is ready to have the kind of...
And that veteran leadership will spray around the whole team.
I just have a feeling. It's hard to explain. I have a feeling LeBron is ready to have the kind of end of the season and all that sort of thing. Luka takes the weight off of him. I feel like LeBron is getting ready to do something special in these playoffs, and I think if he doesn't, it's going to be very hard for them. End of the season and all that sort of thing. Luka takes the weight off of him. I feel like LeBron is getting ready to do something special in these playoffs, and I think if he doesn't, it's going to be very hard for them. All these other teams, they've been together longer. They have it a little bit more together. I've got LeBron as my MVP if the Lakers are going to go a long way.
Look, as much as I love these multitude of teams in the Western Conference, each team has its own vulnerability, which LeBron James, out of any player, will exploit. The biggest question with the Los Angeles Lakers has been, ever since Luka Doncic arrived, is their defense sustainable? Hat tip to J.J. Redick for being creative. And if there's one player to hold Luka Doncic accountable for defense, it's LeBron James. So the situation is working to their favor.
We'll start finding out tonight. The 7-8 games are tonight. Then we've got the 9-10 games tomorrow night. Our play-in action on ESPN. Bulls Heat. That is the 7:30 Eastern tip. And then the Mavs and the Kings. These are elimination games tomorrow night. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern. Coming up, you may have missed this over the weekend. Collegiate sports, as you know them, have changed fully and forever. We will tell you what this absolute mess really meant.
All morning about how to talk about this because, quite frankly, you know, I've been at the Masters all week, and I'm just going to take you into my mind right now. I go to the Masters. I'm kind of out of touch with the NFL world. I come back, and all of a sudden, I'm saying, okay, we're going to talk about Derek Carr. Oh, shoulder injury. What's this shoulder injury? What happened to Derek Carr? Well, nobody knows. Nobody. Shoot out some texts. Start asking around. Well, there's really no answers from anybody inside the Saints. Not really any answers from anybody with Derek Carr either. I actually reached out to somebody who interviewed with the Saints, who's up for that same head coaching job, to say, did they express any concern about Derek Carr? And the person told me, no, actually, Derek Carr was kind of their plan at starting quarterback. I say this all to you because this is as peculiar as a situation for a franchise quarterback and an organization to be in at this point with the draft upcoming and the 9th overall pick. And quite frankly, when it comes to a situation where there is a player dealing with some kind of injury and we don't have the details and the team is being a little bit elusive on it and the player isn't saying exactly what it is, I have never, in my career, 20 years covering the NFL, seen that work out well. And quite frankly, I don't think this is going to work out well either. So if the Saints have a quarterback at number 9 overall that they believe in, they should go ahead and take him. And by the way, I believe they will go ahead and take them.
All right, that is well done. So that brings us then, Peter, to the $82 billion question, which is, does this mean Shedeur Sanders is going to New Orleans at 9?
I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room here. This is bizarre, as Jeff is describing. And the Saints opened camp this week because they have a new head coach in Kellen Moore. And I think they were under the impression that Derek Carr was their quarterback. And then this thing comes out. Let's just 9 days out. Like, is this the Shedeur Sanders draft? Every question goes to Shedeur Sanders. Right. And what's interesting is he is not the top prospect in this draft.
Right.
And yet, when you have franchises like the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Giants, and now the New Orleans Saints, which have a Super Bowl ring and have this long tradition of Drew Brees and Archie Manning, quarterback matters in New Orleans. Is he now a must-have at number 9? It certainly makes it a lot more likely than if they said, well, we have a $40 million quarterback with 2 years left on the contract. We don't have to really, we don't have to take Shedeur Sanders. This at least makes that position far more urgent. Unless, and I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this.
Yeah.
You roll out Spencer Rattler, who played pretty well down the season last year, and you look at a certain player named Arch Manning, who is not available in this draft.
Oh, here we go.
But whose grandfather is the greatest New Orleans Saint and a patron of New Orleans, as I know Ryan Clark knows quite well.
That would be, I mean, look, that's the thing, but that's an awful long way from now to start planning on getting Arch Manning. RC, let me get a final word from you on this quickly. We'll come back to it.
Well, I don't really have much to say except for to Jeff, we weren't at the Masters, Jeff. And I know you said it 18 times. Well, I was at the Masters. 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 And I was at the Masters. We freaking get it. You were at the Masters. We weren't. You are cool. We are not. You saw Rory come back and make the putt. We did not. Congratulations, Jeff.
Yes.
Other people were doing football.
The reporting could sound. Jeff was like, and then Bryson DeChambeau turned to me and he said, and then I was sending a quick text here or there in the other place, and then, at that moment, anyway. So, all right, the bottom line of it, though, and it is important, is something is going on in New Orleans. We're not 100% sure what it is, and it could have a significant impact on the top of the draft, i.e. at number 9 and much more. In the meantime, let me leave that there for the moment and pass along what is some very sad news that we received this morning, and it has an enormous impact on 2 dear friends of ours. Don Hasselbeck has died. He was the father of 3 sons. 2 of them are Matthew and Tim, whom you know from our show and from here at ESPN. Don was a football player. He was drafted as a tight end out of Colorado by the Patriots in 1977. Then after 6 seasons in New England, he was traded in 1983 to the Raiders. He blocked an extra point in the win in the Super Bowl over Washington that year, and then he spent his final season with the Giants. We send our deepest condolences to the entire Hasselbeck family. Don was 70 years old. We'll be right back.